Hello, my name is Bjorn Natwick. I'm a senior automation engineer at Skellig, and in this video, we're going to be showcasing our software tool called Skellig Sheets. Skellig Sheets is a tool created by myself which converts DeltaV data into Excel files. A quick disclaimer before we get started, DeltaV is a proprietary system, and Skellig's tools are independent and not endorsed by Emerson. Skellig Sheets can extract most data found in Explorer, so classes, instances, recipes, I/O, sequences, etc. When we were developing this tool, we focused on creating a user-friendly front-end experience, efficient data parsing, plus an organized and easy-to-navigate Excel file. It's a great alternative to bulk edit for extracting data because it is much faster. With bulk edit, you have to manage a large number of format files and sometimes use the wrong one, or you need to build a custom one, which takes time. And there's a lot of data in Explorer which cannot leverage bulk edit like class data. However, Skellig Sheets does not have this limitation. It can extract all bulk edit data plus most data found in Explorer. Our engineers find this tool very useful when they're working on projects. They use it for verifying configuration, troubleshooting complex sequences, using Excel's find all feature. It's also a great supplemented tool for documentation, as it's much easier to copy and paste Excel table data than it is to copy and paste data from Explorer. And the tables in Excel can also be copied and pasted into Neat if you are using Neat application. Next, we're going to run through an example of using the tool. Before we switch gears, I'm going to briefly explain the procedure. To start, access your system and open Explorer, then right-click Export at any location. This uses the standard export, which builds FHX files. It's worth noting the tool can parse multiple FHX files at once. For example, let's say you have 2 units and you don't want to extract all the data from control strategies, you only want to extract data for those 2 units. Then you can export those 2 units individually, which would create 2 FHX files. Then all you have to do is zip those 2 files so that you have 1 zip file. When you run the tool, it will merge the data from the FHX files into one spreadsheet. After you're finished exporting data from Explorer, transfer the file to your laptop, then access Skellig Sheets in our web application. You run the tool by uploading your FHX file or zip file. Once the tool is finished running, there will be a link to download the spreadsheet. It's also worth noting that we do not save FHX files which are uploaded to the tool. All files are deleted immediately after parsing. In preparation for this video, I've already exported from Explorer an area containing 2 batch units with module and EM instances and moved the file to my laptop. The next step is to access the web application. What you're seeing is the home page for our software tools. And we need to navigate to Skellig Sheets. And then on the right, there's a button to upload your FHX or zip file. And then click Run. If your FHX file size is larger than 20 megabytes, you will be required to zip it prior to uploading. There will be a warning message that will pop up if you try to upload an FHX file greater than 20 megabytes. The reason for this is to increase the performance of the tool. For large FHX files, it can take a while to upload the file to the server, but compressing it will shorten the upload time and improve the tool's performance. There's also a procedure on the left-hand side, which details all the steps we took to run the tool. And when the tool is finished running, there's a message plus a link to download the spreadsheet. And next, we will open the spreadsheet. So at the top left, the tool will place the date which you ran the tool plus the system version. And this first table is the navigation table. So if we scroll through the tabs, you'll notice the tool creates a lot of tabs. And navigating through these manually could be challenging, which is why we create this navigation table. It's organized by location to Explorer, the object, name, and the data type. So for example, if I was interested in equipment module class function blocks, I could perform a filter for equipment module class and I get all the tables associated with equipment module classes. And then all I need to do to access function blocks is click on the link and it'll send me to the function blocks table. And there's also a backlink so that you can navigate back to the navigation table. So it allows for very fast navigating through the data inside the spreadsheet. You'll also notice that all column widths are automatically adjusted and filtering is enabled on all tables. So next we're going to take a look at some of the data in some of the tabs. This first tab, Object Names and Counts, lists the names of all objects found inside the FHX file plus their count. And then the tool also extracts name set data. And there's also a second nameset tab that allows you to compare string values across multiple namesets. We take a look at library properties. So this contains properties for all library objects inside this one tab. So it's nice to have it in one tab because that means you can compare descriptions or settings across multiple different types of library objects. And you'll notice that NA is used here for any cells that are not applicable because not all of these objects have the same properties. If you're interested in getting function block names or information, that's all in here as well. Alarm information, we extract that. History collection. And then also parameter data. So now these tabs I've been showing you will contain data for all of the equipment module classes, and you can provide a sort or filter as needed. So we have the type of parameter, the value for that parameter, whether the parameter is instance configurable, plus some other folder settings. This is a custom tab that allows for additional filtering. So for example, if I only want to filter for top level parameters, meaning parameters not inside function blocks, I can do that. Or I could look at parameters that are one function block level deep. So you notice that there's only one slash here because it's the name of the function block and the parameter. But if I click on two function blocks, then there'll be any parameters that are two function block levels deep. And then you can also filter by command parameters as well. And one thing I just want to point out here on these option bit strings is you'll notice that it contains the description and the Boolean value. You can't get the description when you use bulk edit, and it is very challenging to get the descriptions even from the FHX files. So when we were building this tool and developing it, we spent a lot of time making sure that the data was presented in a very readable and understandable light. Next, we can take a look at an SFC tab. Again, all the classes are in here, and then we have the names of steps. So each row is either a step, action, or transition. So kind of scrolling to the right here, we have all of the action data in here. Any data that you would see inside a sequence can be found in here. And then we also have instance information as well, so properties and parameters. So if you took a module instance and created a format file for it, it would look very similar to this. So it would have all the properties and then all the parameters are listed here. And we also use the less than and greater than signs to denote whether a value is default or not. In this next example, I want to take a look at base class SFC tab. I just want to run through some examples on how you can use it to verify configuration, but also extract data. In this first example, let's say I want to check all action qualifiers that are non-stored and verify that they're named correctly. I can very easily do that by applying a filter. And as you can see, this action is not named correctly. Another task I've done in the past is export out all prompt messages from all phases for the customer to review. So if you know the name of the prompt block, you can apply a filter and then copy and paste all of these actions into a separate spreadsheet. And then with a little bit of formatting, I can easily send that off to a customer for review. A task that, depending on the size of the system, could take a couple hours. And as I mentioned before, this is a great supplemental tool for documentation. So if I make an update to a command with just a couple filters, I can get the entire table of data, and I could copy and paste that into Neat or Word if need be, or I could copy just the rows that changed into my documentation. And that concludes our overview video of Skellig Sheets. To learn more, you can visit our website at www.skellig.com/ourwork/software tools, or you can send us an email at sas@skellig.com. Thank you.